on, guys? Episode 11. We literally just wrapped up episode 10. Chuck joined for the last 4 minutes of the episode.
Just got here.
Yep.
He literally just fucking got here.
And hopefully when you see this, I really just had a cold, and I'm still amongst the living.
You know that Antrim has an effect, man.
That's right. Hey, if it's not, then the next one may be the tribute show, right? Y'all can get Vincent on here for that.
You sure you want
We'll see
Vincent
what we can
paying
do.
tribute to you?
Yeah, well, I don't know. What personality of his would it be?
Jason
I don't know.
B. He wouldn't say anything. He'd just be standing there looking menacing.
Yeah. He's on a Bray Wyatt kick at this point. He's got like 5 alter egos.
So.
Oh, I got some news.
Oh, do you?
Now this is it's probably bad form to talk about this, so I ain't gonna name names. But Screwdriver, which I was planning on putting out myself, may actually get a real release from a real company.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know what company.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
Morbid may be getting a re-release too.
That'd be good.
On Blu-ray
Same
with
company?
with a Blu-ray and a proper ratio.
Now, here's
Well, that's
hoping
cool.
that this is not history repeating itself, which is that
Yeah,
the
right.
last time Chuck said this on an episode of Exorcast, it took about 3 months and continued references to where his movie was for it to come out. So
By episode 12, I should be able to say what when it's coming out or who's putting it out. Which, if it's the company that I'm thinking it is, it won't be like it was last time with the first one. So, and it may be wide, which I'm hoping for a wide release personally because I like having those non-BD, BDR, DVD-R copies of your movie.
Mhm.
I went into the ring and retired last week. In the ring,
So
to retire.
that's how you got the Rona.
Yeah, I didn't slap hands. I just went in the ring. I said what I had to say, and I got out.
I heard everyone in the crowd was pretty bummed.
They were.
I heard him chanting, "No, no, no."
That's right. See, I have this weird charisma, boys. You may be annoyed by me sometimes, but hillbilly fans in the sticks, they're fond of me.
How popular is the episode that we put out with that Easter egg in it?
Well, if you put it at the start of the show, but
that was. I do hope people enjoyed seeing Chuck get slammed into a couple of chairs multiple times.
and that's not how I messed my back up, oddly enough, right? Like I messed it up just by taking a bad fall in practice.
That being said, for the record, if you haven't seen it, that would be episode 8, I believe. 7.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
So check it out.
Are you guys bummed out about all these? I know you guys probably talked about this last episode, but I wasn't here. Are you bummed about all the continuation of everything just getting delayed and put off?
We actually didn't really talk about that.
What?
But I mean, it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
And the thing is also, I told my wife this earlier today. I said the thing is that Arrow's announcing on Friday something. All the clue is a tarot card that says 4 of Pentacles and there's a bee on it, like a buzzing bee on it. So people think all these different things. But the thing is, they're still announcing stuff. Mm-hmm. They're still saying, here, we're going to put this stuff out in October. Scream Factory every so often goes, we're just putting this out at whatever time. They're still putting stuff out.
The
even if
shipping
theaters aren't
areas,
full up,
shipping areas have had outbreaks and stuff though. So how does that affect like real orders? Like I wonder like it's affected screeners obviously, but I mean I heard like I ain't gonna name the company because it's probably bad form to name the company.
Yeah.
But there was a COVID outbreak at this distribution place, and they're working with the skeleton crew. So I imagine everything's gonna be delayed, right?
You'd expect some things to be delayed, I'd imagine. It depends on how big a skeleton crew it is. Depends on if they actually had to completely shut down for any period of time. Mm-hmm. Depends on how long that skeleton crew works. Because, I mean, a lot of companies like Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, etc., Grindhouse Video, they're shipping stuff out, but they're shipping stuff out with, 1, 2, 3, 4 people total working round the clock. Boom, 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 boom. If they're sitting there open later because of it, giving people more hours, might not affect it as much, but, you kind of can't say. It's kind of wait and see.
It took a long time to get here, but I did get my Lindsay/Baker box set.
Yes, which, if I recall correctly, you thought were all directed by Lindsay Baker.
I thought that was like that was the Italian guy's alternate U.S. name, but I didn't realize it was Carol Baker. So, never mind.
Yes,
All
that was
right, I had to
fun.
get that in there.
I know now. I know now. So whenever I do watch it, I'll know that's Carol
I had to
Baker.
get that in there. I had to get that in.
Mm-hmm.
I almost
So we haven't.
commented that
Did you?
on your unboxing video.
How nice of you.
But he did.
See,
I
by
will
the
say,
time this airs, my unboxing video of that will be up, and so won't the Bruce Lee collection from Criterion.
Oh. Yeah. So did anybody know what year this was made when we were watching this?
I looked it up beforehand.
I didn't know until halfway watching it. I was like, this looks like something new made to look old.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it. But I can't.
No, this was 2018.
We'll get onto it. Yeah, but it's just I thought it was an old movie when I first seen this. I thought, well, that's an old movie, and I thought since they released American Rickshaw that this was going to be an older movie as well. But like I said, when I kept seeing it, and especially if you watch the dub version, because I was going to ask
Which is the only way I could watch it, for the record.
Yeah.
Is there actually another version of it?
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
like you gotta go to the audience.
on the Blu-ray, it's
Well, no, Chuck, I couldn't watch a copy of it. I had another way of watching it because they posted it on YouTube apparently. And I can say that because the actual makers or something posted it, or Cauldron. I think someone actually posted that it was going up on YouTube beforehand. So
yeah, it's been a while, but Cauldron actually they did like a world premiere screening for it or something on YouTube, and I wasn't able to watch it at the time because I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
So is that Jesse and company doing the dubbing on the audio?
I highly doubt that.
I doubt it.
It's
So
kinda
the
like-
movie in question, because we haven't even said the title,
Correct. We've held it up once.
I held it up
Abracadabra,
with K.
with a K. This is a 2018 giallo by Luciano and Nicholas Onetti, the Onetti Brothers.
Easy for you to say.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Easy for you to say. It's a hard name to pronounce.
I remember listening to Chuck and Goob try to pronounce Fulci before. What Goob call him? Felucci?
Felucci. Lucio Felucci.
Blow my brains out.
Then there was Dario Argento, or it's all wrong.
And this is also this is very much their genre, because their previous stuff is El Pulpo Negro, Sono Profundo, which I think I either reviewed it in writing or we reviewed it on the show at some point.
That was the modern day giallo I was trying to think of a few weeks back.
Francesca was the one that's unearthed release.
Yeah.
What the Waters Left Behind, I think, also was an unearthed release.
Oh,
yeah, but I've not seen that.
And then Abrakadabra.
Wow.
I didn't know they did this. I didn't know they did What the Waters Leave Behind.
I thought it was Asian.
Now I kind of actually want to watch it. I've not been interested in any unearthed stuff for quite some time.
Well, you don't want the new Gutterballs Blu-ray?
I mean, yeah, but technically
look
that's not an unearthed film.
It don't look good.
That's what you said.
I don't know what it was shot on.
So this is a very short giallo.
About an hour.
Credits and all, it's an hour and 9 minutes.
Same length as my Screwdriver movie I just made. Cheap plug.
So I actually was pretty bummed that it was so short, but
you don't have time to miss it. It don't wear out. It's welcome.
This is true, but we'll come to that. I think you and I think the same thing in that regard. Go ahead.
So either one of you want to do No, Chuck?
I'll do the synopsis.
I can give it a shot. It's been a while since I've seen it, but basically,
I said the synopsis.
there's a magician, and he's performing a show, and people are enjoying the show, and you find out that apparently in his past, his father did a show, something went wrong in a trick, and it ruined his father's life and drove him away from magic for a long time. And so he's kind of trying to be a magician in his father's mold. Meanwhile, somebody else and I have to say, excellent switch on the mold. White Gloves is going
Magician
around.
gloves.
Yes, Magician Gloves is going around and killing. I believe they're all women, 3 women, in POV, but using magic tricks, classic magic tricks, like old, very much, the kind of thing that is the standard. If you're going to do a magician doing a magic show in a movie, they're going to do the box with the swords in the head. They're going to do a guillotine trick. They're going to cut the woman in half, that kind of thing. And so he is trying to figure out who's killing people because it's happening at his theater. The whole time, he's also having very confused nightmares, I believe. You have to correct me on that if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember. And he's just trying to figure out, who the killer is and if it's related to what happened in the past. Did I get that okay, I think? I don't think that was the greatest synopsis.
Close enough for me.
Yeah, so he's getting ready to have his big opening night. And the night before is when the killer has its first victim, and it's the box of swords. And it's his box of swords, and it's on his stage. So there's a murder. They clean it up that next morning, and he still comes by, and they're like, well, yeah, we're still going to do the show because the promoter says, I've sold it out.
Of course.
So we're still going to have a magic show, even though someone was murdered here just hours before.
So real. So real.
It was
the 70s, so. But he is being almost, what's the word I'm looking for? They're making it seem like he is the killer.
Red herring,
yes.
boys. Red herring.
He's the red herring. So he has a very silent, mean-looking, cigarette-smoking detective following him everywhere he goes. And it seems like the only real friend he has is his beautiful assistant, and she is beautiful. Nothing really is working out for this guy. He's broke. He's cheating at cards, getting his ass kicked. He has his big night and does the big grand finale. The whole show is going well. The audience is reacting well to it. Big grand finale, and he gets zero reaction from the crowd. They're all just kind of like staring with blank faces.
Utterly dead.
Yeah, that's got to probably be the worst fucking feeling in the world. If you're a magician, that is.
That's actually probably the worst feeling in the world if you do anything with the crowd.
Actually, I was about to say I think Chuck probably would think that would be the worst possible thing to happen if you were a wrestler.
It would be.
Happened to him every Saturday night.
Don't happen to me, but it happens to people.
Couple that being broke with alcoholism and substance abuse. Mm-hmm. This is a very entwined story with his father, the previous magician, and it seems as if all of the females that are being killed all have the same medallion. And yes. It's a triangle, and it's right here on the front, and it says Abrakadabra all through it.
Yes. Spelled the same way as the title.
Correct. And, yeah. It's a very stylish giallo. I think they did a great job. We reviewed Francesca. I didn't even know that they did Francesca. I couldn't remember back because it's been years since we reviewed that on the original Exorcast, but I remember enjoying it. This, I like a lot more. I need to watch Francesca again, and I actually pulled it out of one of the boxes of movies. But it definitely gave me an Argento vibe, especially because there's a lot of, in Suspiria, Argento always used his reds and his blues, and they're the only prominent colors in this film. Mm-hmm. Whether it's lipstick, lighting, wardrobe, whatever. It was a nice little ode to Argento. And then I definitely kind of got some camera work, a little bit of Four Flies in there.
Oh, yeah. Which is intentional, I'm sure.
Oh, well, yeah. I would imagine.
some of the shots of the killer getting ready to do his act, shall we say, I felt very deep red. You know, where you're looking over top of the, you know, the gear and the equipment, and he's getting ready to do his trick, basically.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are all about maybe even a little more, style over substance at times, because their very first film was more style than anything. Which I think the first film we talked about, the Profano Rono, whatever
Son
it
of
was.
Profano, yeah.
Yeah, that one was their weakest by far. And the reason it was weakest is it was very creative, but like it never showed faces or nothing. They tried to keep the camera low the whole time. So I think they got a little too creative with that one. They settled in a little bit more with Francesca, and I enjoyed it. But this one here is them probably just getting it about as right as you're going to get it. I mean, it's kind of like, what was that one that Astron 6 did that was a parody of giallo films?
The Editor.
Like this one here hits all those marks without being a parody. Like it definitely touched on every good trope about giallo films, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it's an interesting story. Yes, it's short, but I didn't mind that.
The kills were great.
Yes.
And they used, for the time that it's supposed to be, the blood was very fake, very watery, which I think also kind of played into the nostalgia of a traditional giallo, which I really liked. It wasn't a very realistic blood.
Yeah. But the only thing I will say that there were a couple of things I didn't like, but I'm not going to get into them too much. One thing I will say is you mentioned the dubbing. Like, the version I saw was the one that was put up as the English dub. And I know you didn't watch the English dub, W. Did you watch it, Chuck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of course, Chuck's going to watch a dubbed version of an Italian film if he can.
As Chuck just said, it's not the best dub.
There's
a moment, like, for example, where there's a guy in the movie who uses a ventilator, and they dub in the ventilator. And
really?
And it's weird.
I feel like they went and got, like, a group of hipsters. And it was like, hey, we need y'all to dub this movie. Because that's what it sounded like.
And the thing is, to be honest, here's the thing, and this is what's so weird about this particular movie, is I can say that and yet at the same time say, in the time of giallo, there are a bunch of giallo that were very badly dubbed.
Yeah.
So there's entirely a chance that was intentional.
I guess that's possible.
We've got some younger folks doing the older folks' voice and stuff like that. It's pretty noticeable. I ain't gonna crap on it because of that. Because I mean,
exactly. Yeah, I'm just mentioning it as a thing, as in, if you want to get the best experience, watch the Italian version. The dub version's still good, but it does take you out of it a few times the way it's dubbed.
How about that score?
Very good.
Well, if you're going to do a giallo, you gotta have a good score. Gotta have it.
It was a great score. Even like when he was in, at one point he goes to a library to look for periodicals, and it even had a goblin deep red, just like a double bass line hit every so often, and it just really I loved it, loved every second of it. And of course I don't know if the standard edition, but the limited edition does come with the soundtrack. So
I don't know if it will or not. They haven't announced anything about a standard one fully yet. It's just they say when they talk about how many they have, they seem to imply that this is not the only version they're going to ever release of it, basically.
Oh, this does have a soundtrack with it, doesn't it?
As of right now, as of today, as of recording this, which is July 29th, this isn't going up until the first week of August. There are 61 limited copies in stock, and they're limited Blu-ray CD with slipcase. So I don't know if it's just the slipcase that's limited, or if it's, standard will just be the Blu-ray.
True, and plus I think they already said on Diabolik that they have said that it's sold out, as in they're not going to get any more at Diabolik of Abrakadabra. They think
the only place to get it right now is Cauldron Films.
Yeah.
Oh, well, might be why they put the link on the bottom of my unboxing.
Possibly. Although
Nobody
I do find it funny
commented
you did an
on mine.
unboxing and didn't realize there was a CD in it.
I mean, it may not have been one of the guys. I don't know. The only guy I know is Jesse. I know Jesse. I don't know any of the other people involved, so it could have been one of those.
The thing that really bugged me mostly it's something you mentioned. You mentioned it. You didn't like that it was short. Kind of bummed you out. And I feel that like same kind of thing because one of the things that really got me was in a giallo, I expect investigation, like a lot of investigation. Knife Art's a good example in that I admit they don't get to it fast, and like Knife Art's the opposite problem. They take too long to get to the investigation, but when they do, there's enough of it that you still feel it makes sense. This one, because it's shorter, they do take a while to get to it, but it feels like there should be more. And that might be part of kind of like it being so short. So like I like the investigation that's there, but I kind of want it took a while for me to think he was really deeply worried about this situation, trying to figure it out because he hadn't really started digging into it yet. You know.
Well, and even like at the end, not to give anything away, but the big reveal, it's just like it's revealed like the whole fucking time.
Absolutely.
Like how?
It's a good ending. I want to point out my review of this movie is higher than it would have been had the ending been differently. The ending in my mind, raises this movie's rating for me because I liked it that much. But you're right. Where the hell did it come from?
Yeah, and also I do think that the ending is open to interpretation because it can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is always pretty good, when you leave things open just a little.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Gives us something to talk about.
It's true. The last kill was very cool. Probably my favorite.
Yeah.
And
I was impressed with how. Go ahead.
There's a whole lot of like the backstory and back to his father. There's a lot of intertwining story in this, which I think. I mean, I watched this very late, and it was almost a little hard to follow, but it may have been because it was like 1 or 2 a.m.
I watched it 3 a.m.
I watched.
Yeah, but I'm not awake.
Ago. That's beside the point.
I'm not awake at 1 or 2 a.m. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched this like 2 weeks ago, so this is why I had problems with the synopsis.
I typically have messages on my phone at 3 a.m. from Chuck most nights.
Matt does it too.
That's true.
But no, I think they did such a good job of making it look like an old movie. Like I said, it had me fooled for about the first 10, 15 minutes. I was like, wait a second. This must be one of the new movies that's supposed to look old. The dubbing kind of give it away, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it does have that look, but for me, the minute that I heard the dub, I was just like,
yeah. I didn't read the back. I had no clue what I was walking into. I didn't know this was the same guys that did the other movies. I like going in the movies blind.
True. Like I knew that it was 2018 because I'd seen the release date when I was reading about their releases, not so much the reviews themselves, but I went in mostly blind.
There's no real special features, which is a huge bummer because this is a really awesome release. And just like Chuck said, it's got the nice embalmed cover on it.
I can't pronounce that to save my life, by the way.
We can tell.
Yeah.
There is
embossed.
Oh, there it is. Because baseball cards used to be that way.
That too. There is a. It's not even listed on the back here on the special features. Well, it says behind the scenes. It was like Abrakadabra Raw
it's called Backstage Raw.
Backstage Raw, and it was very cool that there wasn't a whole lot of sound to it. It was like it was just straight video, but it was cool to see a lot of the backstage stuff and how like a couple of different takes on some of the things, like him with the sword in the box when he was actually doing his set for the crowd.
Yep.
And it looked almost, because there's no sound at all, but it looked like he was arguing that the box needed to be moved forward some more. So it's cool to see stuff like that, because that's not typically something that you'd see. I wish that I had a CD player somewhere. I don't own one anymore.
I just throw it in. I have an external CD drive that I hook to my computer and throw it into iTunes. So, I mean, you can get one of those fairly cheap, and that'll work for you.
Yeah. I could boot my old iMac up and do that, but
Xbox One plays 4K in that. So.
Yeah, I guess I could do that with my Blu-ray player.
PS4 probably plays CD too. I really like this movie in part because I feel like when I first heard about it, I was like, that is a fantastic idea for a giallo that I'm surprised wasn't done yet. Like, you mentioned your favorite kill. Mine's the very first one. You know, and it's purely because that kill is literally like it's the pattern that surrounds that trick to start in the real life. You know, if you do that bullet catch trick, you know, the pattern around it always revolves around the fact that a certain number of magicians legitimately have died doing that trick because they fucked it up. You know, and to actually have that be the way the movie starts and handle it straight and seriously and not in a goofy way, it's very well done.
Yep.
I can agree with that.
So this movie came out last year, you said, 2 years ago, 2018. So I guess it don't really qualify for this year, does it? Because this year it's going to be a skeleton crew of movies for the year-end list.
Well, if you're a certain person, apparently you have a list of 15 movies that you can just post to people on Twitter instead of telling them to, you know, go and look at stuff they may have missed before in other years.
Oh, yeah.
We'll leave that out of it. We'll leave the names out of it on that, but...
Yeah. But it's good. And if this qualified, I might be, you know, inclined to put it on my year-end list just because it's really creative. And like I said, it looks great. It's got good kills in it. I love the weird blood stuff. I love that. So, yeah, and the soundtrack's great. And I can enjoy it because I have something to play it on. So, it's good stuff.
If this were a 2020 release, as of right now, it would be in my top 10 of the year because I think I'm sitting at like 5 or 6. So.
Oh, wait a minute. You have records, a whole bunch of records, and you don't have a record player that plays CDs?
I have a record player.
Yeah, but I do too, but mine plays CDs as well.
Well, I have a really nice record player that plays records.
Okay. Mine plays everything, cassettes and records. Yep.
Cassettes and records?
$50 at Big Lots, boys. Just saying.
Mine was like 400.
Why would you drop 400 on a record player? Like how big is this record player? Can you define the size of this record player?
Size of a record player.
All right. They first sound like I'm in the room with them while they're playing it if it's $400.
It sounds fucking great.
I was just going to be honest, if it's costing that much, it probably does, honestly.
Well, I hope so.
Made out of titanium. It's good stuff.
There's your reason.
There it is.
I want one of those fucking stand-up record players that the record sits on and spins vertically.
Oh, I know those. Yeah.
How much is that going to cost you?
More than I can afford.
Yes, that's too much.
Hey, if these people quit arguing, maybe you can get their stimulus check and buy one.
I would have to use mine and my wife's, so...
She don't care.
We have other things to buy.
She watches awful movies with you. She'll expect record player.
And you know what? She didn't watch either of these with me. She didn't watch. I think. You know what? I think she would have liked both of them.
She'd like
I think she would have liked both of them.
I think she would have laughed at American Rickshaw with you.
How did she miss the good stuff?
He kind of had to rush and do it yesterday night.
I watched them both last night. Yes, but she was awake the whole time. She could have came out of the bedroom and watched them with me.
Okay. Well, I guess she just gets Beyond the Door triple feature next week, right?
Spoilers.
We've got like the next 9 shows planned.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. But I'm going to give this a 4. I like it.
Oh. I am going to give it a 3.5. If I recall correctly, I gave Knife Heart a 4. I'm giving it a 3.5 because again, to be clear, it's mostly because the version I saw was the dub. And I feel like if I saw it in Italian, I'd probably be in a similar boat.
Give it a 4.
Yeah, 3.5.
If you couldn't tell me holding my 4 up for 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah, he didn't join the 4 Horsemen.
Yeah, thank you. I was about to say. Did he join the Four Horsemen or Fortune?
No. Yeah, the Fortune was like that, wasn't it? Wasn't that Fortune?
I know, yeah, it was the weird.
Who's the one over here? Who was that guy?
I know, right? Yeah.
That's AJ over here.
I don't even know what that is, but
it was back when Impact Wrestling decided that the best idea they could possibly have was to rip off every single idea WWE had. And so they got Ric Flair and had him make a new Four Horsemen with a bunch of other wrestlers and call it Fortune, spelled Fourtune.
And I promise you, AEW's about to do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're about to do the same thing. But, hey, TNA also ripped off the Bullet Club and Sons of Anarchy at the same time with, what was that group called? Aces and Eights?
Aces and Eights.
It's rough.
And yet they're still around, and more power to them.
Well, barely, right?
No, they signed half of WWE's people. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, back to the horror podcast.
Hey,
yes,
it goes good.
I am willing to be rudely steered back on track this week. Yes.
All right. I'm trying to squeeze some extra time in, some extra ads be inserted if we just climb and scratch for that extra run time.
We don't have ads. What the hell are you talking about?
We have ads. We just can't get money out of them because we don't have enough subscribers yet.
Yeah, we do.
That's probably true. So James, you said it last episode. Cauldron's next two films. The third one is a 70s Euro film.
Yeah, and the other one is an 80s Euro film.
And the fourth one is an 80s Euro film.
Let me see real quick. I think they said something else on Facebook too. So some of the other things they said. Okay, here's the more specific thing they said on Facebook. Stylish and gory 70s giallo that has never been released on Blu-ray anywhere. That's the first one.
That's exciting.
And the second one is nihilistic Euro 80s exploitation horror that has never been released in the US and only available in Europe on VHS. This one is sure to blow some minds.
That's also exciting.
I'm going to predict that the first one is The House with the Laughing Windows.
I would die. I need to see that movie.
Because the last time I checked, that's not on Blu-ray, right?
It's not on Blu-ray, but it was released on DVD.
Just DVD, yeah.
Yeah, it was on DVD, but that's long out of print.
I've got that.
It's a good one.
In college there were three collectors. There was myself, Eli, and some guy named Chad Sapp. I met him once, and Chad Sapp had to get his van fixed and traded in a bunch of his collection, a lot of out of print like Anchor Bay stuff, to FYE, and the manager said, just come back and you can buy it back. But then she called Eli and I, and we went down and raided the fuck out of that stack.
I remember that story. That was
a lot of those movies, the barcodes didn't pull anything up, so he probably got like $1 out of them.
Yeah.
And I paid, like, House with Laughing Windows, I probably paid $5 or $10 for, and it was already out of print.
That's for him, huh?
Idiot.
He was very upset. And you know what? I didn't meet him until about 3 years after that. And I was like, oh, hey, man, I bought all your collection.
he was like always online. Like he was buying. I remember, like, I forgot about this guy you mentioned him, but like he would buy everything and then he would just unload everything.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, when you mentioned him on Exorcast 4, that was basically all he did. You had a guy, and every time he'd come in, they'd just call you, and you just, yeah.
So I wonder if I'll be getting these next titles for review. I hope so. Because I felt like he was getting hit up by everybody when these got announced.
It's possible.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really. Like, the thing is, some companies, like Scream Factory, Severin, etc., they show up everywhere. A lot of their Blu-rays show up everywhere. Reviews come up everywhere. Cauldron stuff, Mondo Digital had some reviews for it. I know Cultsploitation did some reviews. I haven't seen a lot of reviews.
I'm going to review them. I'm just waiting until this was done.
Well, no, I mean, like, I'm saying other websites, if they were sending tons of them out for review, I haven't seen a lot of it, basically.
I know some people got check disc. So.
Did they really?
Yes.
Lucky you, Chuck.
I know,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, right. I mean, so I got to stay on the good side of these folks so they don't send me the dreaded check disc. Check disc is terrible.
I bought them and got a magnet.
Just to start with.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get. I got a magnet. I don't know where it is. I'm worried about the magnet because I'm afraid it's gonna ruin my movies if it accidentally lays on one. Because I don't have I don't really have anything per se to put it on myself. So.
Put on your refrigerator.
Yeah, the other folks that live here would be happy with that or not. I mean,
one side of my refrigerator is like the lower part of it has like the alphabet, so my kids can like play with those, and above it is all like horror magnets. Everything from Ghostbusters to Ilsa to Maniac.
Yeah.
The side of mine has. I think the 5 or 6 times I went to the Hudson Horror Show, every time they would do a magnet of the program poster. So
That's
I have
cool.
all the ones. The best one was, at least the one that I liked the most, was the 8th one. The OCD side of me doesn't like it because it's the only one that's horizontal instead of vertical. But Horror Express was on there, and so it's white, and it looks like the Horror Express train is going through the middle of the design. It's really good.
Okay. I make it my own refrigerator.
Make it. Chuck's gonna have a little mini fridge. I mean, your room's pretty much like its own little apartment anyway, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's also like its own little video store.
So yes, it is.
That's always good,
Video store and toy store.
That's true. It's true. It's just itching for a woman to come in here and just ruin all of it.
Well, we all know that's not going to happen.
And besides, the point is, as both W and I can attest, is you find one who doesn't.
Oh. On the horror fan.
No, just who doesn't.
My wife already said that if we ever got divorced, she was going to take me for all my movies just to spite me.
Whew. I got friends that are both horror fanatics, and if they ever broke up, I wonder who gets what. I mean, that kind of stresses me out. I'm not even either one of them, so.
My wife isn't a horror fan, but she has a darker sensibility. So, her sense of humor and her sensibility, she kind of appreciates some of the stuff and has a little bit of fun with it. So,
I've already worked it out, and I don't know since we aren't as close anymore, but at one point years ago when she said that, I was already planning to gift them to Eli. So I could keep them.
If you kick the bucket, do they sell them or do they give them to Eli?
I don't know.
Very young.
I think
as we go back to our discussion last week of her killing you and hiding the body with Millen.
Right. I do believe that it would be we both had, if that ever happened, that we would be in charge of selling each other's collections, so females didn't get ripped off. Again, that was like a long time ago.
I feel like Vincent may have already hawked a bunch of his good stuff.
I think he did.
I remember him doing it while the podcast was going on. So
no more hard boxes. All the hard boxes gone. The German ones and the ones that look so nice with the look like leather covers and all that good stuff that you guys used to have.
I still got all mine.
The Dust Devil.
I know you did. Yeah.
The Dust Devil one.
They're right there.
What are those going for these days? Since most of them are they Blu-ray or DVD?
Both.
Depends.
There is a company, and I actually asked Jesse about them, and because he carried some of their stuff for a while, but they're only releasing and they're hard boxes. I think they're calling them book boxes.
Tetro?
Yes, Tetro. Do you have any of those, Chuck?
I have some of the movies, but I don't have those versions. Like they put out that Lurker or whatever.
It seems like they're putting out a lot of unearthed stuff.
Yeah, and they put out some old Synapse stuff too.
I don't know if they have the rights to it or what, but I know their next film that they're releasing is Thanamorphosis. And that was an old unearthed title that Eli and I reviewed, where the girl, it was
decays.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean what are they called? Contracted?
Separate movie.
But this was the effects were way better in like Phantomorphosis was way more fucking disgusting than Contracted.
Yeah, there's a reason why Unearthed released Anatomorphosis and IFC released Contracted.
Sure. Like not like down, like not like bashing Contracted because it was an enjoyable film.
But it's not nearly a level of makeup effect that Phantomorphosis would be, because that would never have been released by IFC.
Are they doing a Blu-ray of it or a DVD of it? Because I've already got a DVD of it.
I don't know. I've got a DVD as well. I don't know if they're doing Blu-ray or not, but they're doing 100 copies. And it's like they sell out instantly, and then people, because somehow, I think I added you to some Facebook group that I was in, and they were all talking about like movies. And one of the guys that runs that is one of the guys in charge of that runs Tetra Video, and he added me to this Tetra Video group, and like I had no fucking idea what it was, and I just accepted and joined. And every day after their releases go up, there's like 100 people on there bitching that they never got a chance to buy it.
Well, I don't know if it's working in the movie world yet, but I know as far as action figures go, they have these bots now you can set up that automatically order stuff. So therefore, the bots are ordering everything before you have a chance to get to them.
I hate people in that regard.
Well, all mecha stuff sell out so quick.
Yeah. They started that on like shoe drops.
Yeah. That's why we can't have nice things, you know.
No. For the record, I mentioned this last podcast, so people have heard already, but I don't know if you weren't on, obviously. We talked briefly about the Friday the 13th set, and I don't know if you've seen, so they started with their 1,313, sold out the first day, upped it to 7,000, and by the end of that week, they were out of it and basically said that the version with the poster, you have to email them to get on a wait list for people who cancel. So, I mean... It's not to that level, at least at Scream Factory yet.
So is there another version without the poster?
Probably.
Is it like the Halloween one where it's like a small one that nobody wants, or is it going to be just like the big one?
So the Halloween one, to my recollection, came with like additional discs. I don't think this other one will come with additional discs.
Yeah, Chuck, what was the difference between the two Halloweens?
It didn't have the TV cut, and it didn't have the producer's cut.
That's it. The producer's cut and the TV cut.
It wasn't like, isn't the box that I have, isn't it a larger box set, like bigger in scale?
Like this, but it's got each movie in its individual case in it, and I think it also had an extras disc that was not included in the standard one, which I think that had the TV cut on it. That disc did.
I'm almost sure of that, but
when they sent me the standard one to review, then they sent me the extra disc with it. So that's how I got everything.
So you still have the whole thing, but yeah.
It's not
well, and there was an error in one of the discs, so
Halloween 4 was out of sync, right?
Was it 4 or 5?
I don't know. I don't think mine was out of sync though.
But I remember they just sent an extra disc, a replacement disc, and it was just in a white paper sleeve.
It might have been 4. It was 4. Something with 4 or 5 or both, because I remember like when you got to a certain point, they said that everything just went out of sync. So, at least
I'm being honest, I haven't even watched all of those. Like if I'm going to watch Halloween 1, 2, or 3, I grab those. Other than that, I don't watch any of those.
Well, you remember Anchor Bay put out 4 and 5 on Blu-ray, and if I remember correctly, these were just reprints of those same discs.
Yeah, half the set was basically that.
The only thing that got anything new was like the Echo Bridge stuff got redone, because the Echo Bridge stuff didn't look that good.
Mm-hmm. And had no special features, obviously.
Yeah, which I think I eventually got rid of my Echo Bridge ones, which I'm stupid for doing because ain't those worth a lot of money now. Like a lot of the old Echo Bridge stuff's worth money if you got them. Like that, the Hellraisers was.
I've got that.
Yeah. I don't know if they are now or not, but I had a bunch of Echo Bridge.
I'm not getting rid of them because I have them because it's the only way I have the whole set. But
that's the same reason why I have them. Like, I still need. I think I have my Hellraiser 3 is like a check disc from Arrow. I don't have a real copy of Hellraiser 3 on Blu-ray. I have a DVD copy, but
I have the single disc that Anchor Bay did after they did those really cool ones of 1 and 2. They just went, oh, and here's Hell on Earth.
But I think the only Hellraiser Blu-rays I have is that UK Arrow set.
Yeah.
I have
which
the
I think
original
is
Anchor Bay Blu-ray.
It's the same one they put in America, just but
there's only a couple of this. How many films
It's
is in
only
that?
1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Is that it?
I thought three's in the Scarlet Box, isn't it?
Oh, then it might be 3, but 1 and 2 are definitely in it. It's either 1, 2,
I
or
have
1 and 2.
I have the Scarlet Box. It's got the
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
I
either
don't
1
fucking
and
like
2,
those
1, 2, and
movies.
3.
I just
then
bought it.
They put 1 and 2 out by themselves, but then they never put 3 out. I don't know why. Guess it's a rights issue or something.
Oh, it has to be.
But no, as far as like the Friday 13th stuff, does this mean that 10 ain't worth nothing now? Because I still got the 10. You know.
I mean,
At one time it was worth a lot.
Well, I mentioned on the last episode.
Was it really? Because they don't look great.
They were up to it was up to a couple hundred at one time, because it's the only place you could get, Jason Goes to Hell on Blu-ray, and I think was that it? Was that the one? That's like the main one you couldn't get nowhere else, right? Or maybe Jason X? Could you get it on Blu-ray?
Don't think so at the time, no.
Yeah, but the thing is, Jason X was the Voodoo Code was uncut, but the disc was not. So that's why I still have my Jason Goes to Hell DVD, which that's one reason why maybe to keep the 10 is the Voodoo. You get Voodoo codes with that. You don't get that with the Screen Factory.
Back in the day when I worked at Suncoast, we had one of those, and that thing stayed there forever because Suncoast charges too much for everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I mean, that thing, it sells for a lot because people wanted it at the time, and they still do. I mean, whenever they put those kind of sets up, like I told W, the only one that isn't worth a ton right now is you can go to Hamilton and you can buy the Nightmare on Elm Street collection 1 through 7 and get a free mini Freddy Pop figure for $25.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it's at now.
Those are Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah, and also I should point out that's not the one they did originally. That, if I recall correctly, came with Freddy's Nightmares, I think, or it was either Freddy's Nightmares or Never Sleep Again. I don't know if this version comes with those anymore.
I don't have the one where everything's like in one big slip case and everything's in one little case.
Yeah, it looks like that. It just looks like it was also sold at Walmart because it's got that thing on the top that's got a little figurine in it and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one Walmart had. But I look for Warner. Like, Warner don't usually play around with stuff, so I look for them to put that on 4K pretty soon, probably. At least the first one.
I'd buy it.
I don't blame you, but I'm just like, I don't know.
But I love that movie. That's one of my favorite ones. But like, I really need to get the Friday 13th one. So, like, we talk about this and everybody laughs at me about this. That's the only reason I want a stimulus check, is because I want to buy this Friday 13th set, and I want to do it without it really hurting me. So I want to get that. I know it's probably gonna be hard to get because they sold out like everywhere right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can still order it everywhere.
Yeah, Deep Discount's still taking orders. Amazon's still taking orders, I think.
I don't care about the poster and all that. I just want the set, And I got a lead on the old Halloween set too that I ain't saying in case somebody wants to go get it. But I found it somewhere for like $200, the one you've got. So I kind of want to go back and get that too, just because I love Screen Factory. I don't know why, but even though I don't have everything anymore, at one time I had everything. But
you gotta get on those. Roger Corman's ones they're doing now.
The limited ones.
Yeah, go on.
I don't know about it. Which I've got those on DVD though, so I don't know if
but they're not.
I got to draw a line somewhere. I collect too much stuff, boys. Too much. I bought Skeletor last week. Okay.
Yeah, you did. You just made a video about it.
I did, and it gets a lot of views. Or, good for me anyway. So there's too much stuff, man. I collect G.I. Joes, which talk about those bots ordering everything. You cannot order the G.I. Joe Cobra Island figures, which are Target exclusive, because the bots have took everything. People don't want just one Cobra Trooper. They want a whole army of Cobra Troopers.
Or they want a whole army to sell.
Yeah, exactly. Flipping it.
I still can't find a goddamn Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from the real Ghostbusters.
I haven't seen one yet. If I see one, I'll get it for you. But I ran into it one time, like the week before you said you needed it. I ran into it, and then I've not seen it.
You said that if you saw it again, you'd go back and get it, but I just assumed that you forgot about me or it wasn't there.
No. The only thing popping up in stores now is all the regular figures, like the regular guys, and they're all with and it's all got no, like it's the real Ghostbusters. But it's
just
they re-released them with the Who You Gonna Call off of it.
Yeah.
But now those other ones, Ryan bought all those other ones. He bought both of them. But the newer ones, the Plasma series, like he had a hard time finding those, but he finally found them.
I've seen the whole set of them between 2 different Walmarts, but they're $25 a pop, and
they're only 20 down here. So I don't know why.
They may have been 20, but I thought they were 25.
Well, Ryan and them got lucky because at one time that somebody screwed up and put them on the clearance rack down here at Walmart for $10 a piece. So, hey, if you ever find something in the clearance rack and you think that sticker may not be the right sticker, just scan that sticker. That's all I tell you. Don't scan the barcode. Scan the sticker. Self-checking.
Duly noted.
And they got stuff to you. It's on it. But I see like so much. The last G.I. Joe I bought Scarlet, and she was the exact same price as regular price, but had a clearance sticker on her that said the regular price. So I don't understand what's going on there. Unless somebody bought a bunch of them and brought them back. I don't. Third world problems,
And with that.
Yeah.
First world problems.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're living in a world with a 60-game MLB season, boys. It's okay. They could do 100. Could do 100 games.
They'd have to survive.
Yeah,
and with that.
Sounds like they're going to be lucky to get 30, especially with the Marlins, right?
Yeah, their games have been canceled, and the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, hey, SummerSlam's going to be on a ship, though, so we're all good. It's going to be like having fever. Patient Zero. Wasn't that on a boat?
Yep. Sort of. It was on an island, I think.
So. Yeah. No, it's going to be Jason 8.
Oh, yeah. Well, on that note, I'm done rambling, boys. Good movie, though.
Yep. One of my AirPods already died, so it's that time.
Yep. So with that.
Gentlemen, thank you. Chuck, it was nice of you to show up tonight at some point.
Thank you. It's bad luck ever since we watched that movie,
Oh, you made it to half the episodes.
Hey, I'm at least on every one of them, even if it's for a small portion of time.
That is true.
So, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out Cauldron Films, cauldron-films.com, I think.
I believe so, yeah.
But you can find them regardless. Pick them up.
Yeah, it is.
Because by the time this goes up, the limited editions are probably all sold out anyway. So fuck it. Buy it regardless.
Probably once they do their sell out, they'll probably announce the others, I'd guess, or at least some point
COVID.
After.
That's not cool. Boys, look here. I've read all the symptoms. I sneeze a lot. You don't sneeze a lot with COVID, okay?
Okay.
No fever.
Anyway.
No fever.
And onward.
See you guys.